looking for me. Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Okay, you should be able to see my screen in a few seconds. So give me a thumbs up when you see my ruler. So the last time I was with you guys, I told you I could not find my ruler. So I was digging through my daughter's drawers, her art stuff, and I found my ruler. Okay. All right. So listen, we're going to talk about a ruler. All right. So obviously we know a ruler is for measuring. Okay. Now, the last time we met, we measured in centimeters, these small measurements. Okay. But when we're measuring paper or toys, we usually measure in inches. So today, I'm going to explain to you. Yes, Callie?
The bottom ones are the bigger ones.
Exactly, right? So they're bigger measurements. You got it, Callie. Here we go. So looking at my ruler and your ruler, okay, it starts at 0, okay? So from 0 to 1, that is 1 inch. All right, watch me. From 0 to 1, that is 1 inch. Okay, we cannot start at 1 and say that that's okay. So if I start at 0 and I go to 2, that's 2 inches. Okay, I cannot start at 1 and say that that line is 2 inches. You have to start at 0. Okay, so watch me. I'm going to go back and explain to you. So from 0 to 1 is 1 inch. From 1 to 2, that's another inch. So we have 2 inches. From 2 to 3 is another inch. 3 to 4 is another inch. 4 to 5. So every time I go from here to here, that's 1 inch. 2 inches. 3 inches. 4 inches. 5, 6, and I'm going to move up 7. Now this ruler, unlike the other one I had, it was smaller. It goes up to 12. Okay? Yes, Callie?
Am I supposed to be doing it?
Nope, I'll let you know. I'll let you know in a second. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Callie. So what do I know about this ruler? I know that the ruler starts at 0, and I know it ends at 12. That means this ruler is 12 inches. Well, I'm going to convert that 12 inches, and I'm going to say 12 inches equals 1 foot. You know how, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen a second. You know how we are in the middle of a virus, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and everyone is telling you, stay 6 feet away, do not get too close. Like that's what we do. My daughter and I, we are 6 feet, okay? So if I were to say to you that this ruler all by itself is 1 foot, I need 6 of these between me and one person. So imagine 6 of these. That's how much feet you should have between you and someone else, okay? So 1 foot is the same as 12 inches, okay? Does that make sense? I'm going to share my screen again with you. All right. I love this group. This is my favorite group. Don't tell anyone I said that. Okay. So what do we know about this ruler? It starts at 0 and it ends at 12, like your rulers. There are certain rulers that end at 6. which is 6 inches, okay? But when I am measuring, I have to start at 0. If I don't start at 0, I miss that inch. So from 0 to 2 is 2 inches, okay? I cannot start at 1 and go to 2 and say, that's 2 inches. No, it's not. That's 1 inch. Okay, does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, I don't see you, Makai. There you go. All right, so now I'm gonna draw a line and I want you to tell me how many inches my line is. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Who can tell me how many inches? Unmute, Elijah.
2.
2 inches. Now, when we're talking measurements, if we're going to say 2, we have to say 2 inches. If we're going to say centimeters, we have to say centimeters. If we're going to say feet, we have to say feet. Okay? Now, watch this, guys. So, Elijah said that this is 2 inches, and Elijah is correct. 2, watch this. That is the sign for inches. 2 little lines, okay? Does that make sense so far? Anyone ready for one? Nobody. Thank you, Callie. The only girl holding it down. All right, I'm going to turn my paper over, Callie. Callie, you're going to tell me how many inches this line is. And then I'm going to teach you something that you probably would learn in 2nd or 3rd grade. Okay? But I taught 2nd and 3rd grade math, so I can give it to you. So Callie, you're going to tell me how many inches this line is. Ready, my love?
Three inches.
3 inches. How do you know that it's 3 inches, Callie?
Because the big ones are called inches, and the small ones are called centimeters.
But how come it's not 2? How do you know that it's 3?
Because the line's at the number 3.
I stopped at the number 3. I started at 0 and stopped at 3, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Good job, Callie. Very good. Makai, sweetheart, you ready? You ready? Okay. Let me move my camera up just a little bit. It gets a little weird sometimes. Okay. All right. So Makai, I'm going to draw a line for you. Tell me how long this line is. Whoops. I started at 0.
Six inches.
6 inches. Did I start at 0, Makai? Whoops.
Yes.
Yeah, and I stopped at 6, okay? The next one is for Cooper, okay? Cooper, you're gonna tell me how many inches my line is. Now, remember, 6 inches, okay? So those 2 lines mean 6 inches, okay? I'm gonna turn my paper around. All right, Cooper, you ready? Yeah? You can thank you.
4 inches.
Okay, good job, Cooper. 4 inches, okay? Now remember, if I start at the number 1, I only have from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. I only have 3 inches. You have to start at 0. Okay? So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. All right. Why do I have to start at 0 when I am measuring? Callie?
Because that's how the numbers have to go in order.
They have to go in order. So this is also kind of like a number line. So if I start at 1, I lose 1 whole inch. I lose it. Okay. Now this ruler, Cooper, can you tell me how many inches my ruler is in total? 12 inches. And 12 inches, you guys, is equal to 1 foot. Okay. You know, my daughter, she took a ruler one day and she said, I want to see how many feet, what 6 feet looks like. So she took the ruler and she placed it on the floor, on our floor, and she kind of laid it down 6 times. So she went like this, 1, 2, 3, so she could see what 6 feet looks like because she wants to make sure that she's also safe. So you can take your ruler and you can place it on the floor. You can put like a pillow right there. You put your pillow, then you go 1, 2, 3, all the way till you get to 6. And you put another pillow like from here to here. You'll see how far, you'll see what 6 feet looks like. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen one more time. I want you to see something. Okay. Cooper's already doing it. He's already doing it. Very smart. Very, very smart. Okay. Let me share my screen one more time, guys. All right. I'm going to write something for you. Okay. So let's say I want to write 1 or 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters. CMS. 2 inches. 2 inches or 2 feet. Okay? Pay attention to this, guys. Watch this. I want you to see this. So 2 centimeters, guys, is this. From 0 to 2. Oops. My 2 inches is 0 to 2. The 2 feet, I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you. 2 feet is 2 of these. 1, 2. So you're probably about maybe 3 or 4 feet, some of you. Okay? You have to measure yourself. 5 feet, maybe, I don't know. Okay? Now I'm going to share my screen one more time. I want you to see something. Okay? All right. So if I were to write 2 inches, those 2 little lines, and 2 feet is 1 little line. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. You guys did a really, really, really good job. Again, if you want to know what 6 feet looks like, you need 6 of these. So you take a pillow, you put it on the floor, or a pencil or whatever. You put it down, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you put another pencil, and that distance between the 2 pencils, that should be 6 feet. You need 6 of these. You need 6 of these, okay? Does that make sense?